Man, fuck it. I don't even feel like doing it. Such bullshit. All right, it's your boy Livewire, and unfortunately, I gotta do this fucking video because Scalebound got motherfucking canceled. God damn it! I was really looking forward to this game. Oh my bad. Hold on. Really looking forward to this game. Shit, man. It's just look, man. As much as people hate on Crap Gamer, he has a good fucking point. He has a good fucking point, man. Announcing games before they're a year away from from a year away from being ready, meaning that ready to be polished. It's not a fucking good idea because this shit is bullshit. Unless you're talking about an established franchise like Halo or Gears or Uncharted or fucking Last of Us or Gran Turismo, whatever the fuck. Unless it's an established franchise, you just can't announce them. God damn it. What the fuck over there? What else? Everybody's hitting my shit up. But Jesus, man. It's motherfucking bullshit, man. I'm mad at fucking God damn it. I really want, man, shit. And bam, the cancel. Yo, mad as fuck right now. I really was looking forward to playing Scalebound, man. And then I got PlayStation guys talking to me about like, well, you gotta go get a PlayStation now. You gotta go play Horizon. Fuck Horizon. That game looks like trash. I didn't want to play that shit because I don't want to fucking shoot robots. Like that robot shit is whack to me, man. It's just I just don't like that game because it's fucking they could put dinosaurs in it or something else. Like that robot shit is garbage. Like it's just I don't see the point. Scalebound look hot. Like you got dragons and shit. I mean, I get it. All right, so you got a game. I don't see. This is my problem with devs, man. And it happens with business all the time. You go in, you have an agreement. You're like, all right, yeah, this is what it is. We're gonna make this game. How do you need? I need this much time. They always give you a window of how much time you have. What happens is, especially when this isn't your game and you're, basically outsourcing to a third party, anything can happen in development. They start on the game planning to do one thing, and then they turn around and be like, oh shit, we could do this whole other thing. And that's what it sounds like to me happened with this game. Like they had aspirations to do something changed, and they wanted to expand upon it and make it bigger or change the way they were doing something, and just weren't able to live up to what the fuck they were, promising. They were promising this big open world, co-op thing, and for whatever reason, whatever they were trying to do, it wasn't working. I mean, for whatever reason, it just sucks, man. I was looking forward to the game. Like to me, like I was talking to the cast from Tick, I was saying they could do a couple of things with this game. One, they could put it in preview program, give it to one of their younger studios, and have them develop it, like finish working on it if possible. But we don't know what the issues are with the game, so it might not be something that's just like, oh yeah, just finish it up. It might be something fundamentally, like from the beginning of development, that they tried to change, but they couldn't because of the way they set everything up. So now it's fucked. It's like you got to really do damn near everything from scratch. You might have all your assets and shit like that, but as far as like the complete programming of how the world works, they might have to redo that from the ground up. Especially if you're talking about well, we don't know what it is. We don't know if they're implementing that cloud compute stuff or whatever. Just like Crackdown is taking a long fucking time because they're basically learning new technology, trying to, make a game wrapped around that. Who knows? That might be the same case in Scalebound. Maybe they were like, oh yeah, we could implement it, and then realized they couldn't. But then you're talking about, well, if you talk about developing the game for an extra year, that's not one thing. I mean, that's one thing, but more than likely they're talking about, we need this extra time to, maybe like 2-3 years. So you're talking about a game coming out in fucking 2019, 2020. That's a new IP. That's not called Final Fantasy or fucking Last of Us or Halo or some shit. Like, nah, it's not gonna fly. Or what's the other game? Mass Effect. I mean, those are established franchises. You can't do that shit with a new IP because there's no justification to do that. You can't just be like, I'm going to throw money at a new IP that's, immensely expensive. I mean, you could do it, but it's just not going to pay off. I know people were like, well, what does it matter? You're a gamer, so you should only care about getting the game. Yes, that's true. But at the same time, I don't want to have a game that they're going to throw all their money in that's going to suck up money for other games. And then it's going to turn out to not even be a good game. Well, that shit would suck in itself. You don't want to make a big ass money pit. Yeah, so, oh man, it fucking sucks, man. I mean, it sucks because we knew about the game, we thought the game was cool, and if they can't do a preview program for it or have a younger studio, finish working on it, it's like, damn, and it sucks, man. Yeah, I mean, no, yeah, Microsoft owns Scalebound, so they could always just take the IP and do whatever the fuck they want with it. But what I'm saying is, we don't know what the issues are with it. Fucking shit. God damn it. This is that bullshit. Man, these are my thoughts, man. I was talking to Tick, and I was basically saying this is what Microsoft needs to do. They need to find a place where they're going to build a large base of operations for their gaming studios. None of this, you over here, you over there, all over the fucking world. Yeah, you can still have certain studios in different regions, but for the most part, you need to have a big campus, similar to Disney Studios. Like if you want to become an artist and you work for Disney, you basically work on the Disney campus. You don't fucking work in fucking New York working on a fucking movie while everybody else is in fucking California. Like you work in fucking Disney World. Why? Because they have access, around you to other artists, other, developers for film and other things. They need to do the same thing for fucking Microsoft, man. They got the money to do it. And to me, it makes more sense. You might as well build a campus, have it where you grab young artists or developers straight out of college. You bring them in as interns. You develop them. You bring them onto new projects. You help them. You get them to work on your indies and shit of that nature, and then you can get them to join. The better they get, the bigger the projects they get. Handed, and they join. Like say, after their time as far as like being courted and developed, then you can see what team you want to put them on. Like, do you want them on the Forza team? What do you want on a Halo team, Gears team? And that's where you really get them polished as far as professionals. And then once they spent their time working for Halo, Gears, Forza, whatever the fuck, at that point, that's where you push them as a professional onto another budding studio. Like you got to cultivate that talent. You can't just keep all those people in Gears, Halo, and Forza. It's like they hold them there and they don't let them go. They'd be like, yeah, we keep all our bets here and then fuck everybody else, you know, and then they're just outsourcing, which, and this is what happens when you outsource. Like, you outsource, and what happens is you're not in contact with these people all the time. So you find out shit, you know, is fucked up too late. Like, if this was done in house, one, they would have had an easier time understanding what the issues are, and two, they wouldn't, you know, they probably wouldn't scrap the project as easily because it's not, you know, it's already in house. These people are already paid for, so them finishing the game doesn't hurt them as much as somebody that's third party that has nothing to do with your company. They're not on your payroll as a regular employee, so you're basically paying them. They just, Microsoft literally just pay them to do half a game. If they're gonna scrap it as is, they should just. I just don't see the point in that. They have to do something with it, like whether or not you build another game and call it Scalebound or whatever the fuck. But I mean, I don't see the point in just scrapping, especially as far as it went. You know, because it's not like they got to work from scratch. Yeah, they might want to redo some things, but man, this shit is crazy, man. I don't know, man. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, for the future, I mean, what do we have coming out? We got Scalebound, not Scalebound. That shit gone. We have fucking Sea of Thieves, which thank God, at least that's an in-house studio, so we know that's not going anywhere. But we have Sea of Thieves. We have State of Decay, which is a Microsoft studio. What else? What else do we have? And Crackdown, which is another Microsoft studio. Which we know those games are coming. That's all well and good. But if they really, really, really want people to use this technology that they're working on, they need to build their own studios for this shit. Straight up. I mean, you're already doing Windows 10. You might as well have your younger developers build smaller games using that technology in order to get them aware, you know, familiar with that shit. And then just, you know, how develop them from there on out, man. It's just man, I really wanted that game, man. Man, I cracked it out. I mean, Crackdown is going to be dope, but Scalebound, man, it was just, you know, it had a good concept to it. You know, and I'm not a big JRPG type dude, so I don't shit. I didn't even like Lost Odyssey. I know people were like, "Oh, Lost Odyssey came backward compat." I played that bitch for 30 minutes and was like, "Oh hell no, this shit ain't for me." I couldn't get into it. I wasn't a fan, man. I'm sorry. But Scalebound looked like some dope shit. Looked like some Devil May Cry, Monster Hunter, you know, games that I'm familiar with, but it's just not something I particularly care for as a taste of a game. But the way it was being shown and implemented was something interesting to me. But fuck, I don't know, man. It seems like we're just gonna get indies the first part of the year now. I mean, other than Sea of Thieves, because I don't see Sea of Thieves in Scorpio title, like a launch title. I don't really see the purpose of it being used as that. So, you know, Scalebound would have been a nice showcase, but obviously apparently it wasn't that pretty of a game. All right, for whatever reason, I don't know what they couldn't do. You know, I don't know what their limitations were. Obviously, they needed more time, and Microsoft was like, "Man, we gave you 4 years. Like, what the fuck?" So, yeah, man, it sucks. It sucks, especially because there's nothing that was gonna come out similar to it, man. There's nothing. Fuck. It didn't matter what platform you went on. There's a lot of PlayStation guys that are pissed off about it too, because it's just like, damn, you know, after you finish playing Final Fantasy, you know, what do you have to look forward to that has a similar, you know, play style to that? You know, Scalebound was the closest thing, and it just got scrapped. You know, the fucking Horizon is like Uncharted with fucking robots. So it's like whatever. And then after that game comes out, shit, you don't got shit on PlayStation neither. I mean, they do have like, but they have fucking Near Automata. I mean, I guess people like that. It's like fucking Recore-ish. And then they have, except for your butt, you fight like big ass God of War type fucking machines and shit. And then maybe what the fuck else is on that PlayStation? Heaven, no, Hellblade. Hellblade. Which I haven't really, I mean, the graphics look amazing, but it looks kind of like God of War, but I don't know. I don't really know about that much about that game. Actually, will be interesting to see if that game Scorn, that's a PC game, comes to console. That would be kind of cool. That game looks hot, but it looks fucking gross as shit at the same time. But Scorn, that shit, it's like Doom, but even grosser than that. This shit, if you think that to be possible, a game that's more gross than Doom. But fuck, man, Scalebound, man, this shit was shit. Shit sucks, man. Shit sucks. Yeah, I don't know. I guess from here on out, I don't think we're going to be seeing games at E3 that are coming years away anymore. I don't see it happening. I think whatever they announce at E3 is probably going to come out either this year or the following year. Maybe early, but I don't see, they're not going to be doing 2-year announcements anymore. I don't see that happening. Or 2-3 years. Like, because what do we have? We had Quantum Break that had a long developmental time. We had obviously Scalebound, which didn't drop. What else? Well, Phantom Dust, I don't know what the fuck they're doing with that shit. They talked about it for a year, and then the following E3 wasn't there, and then they were like, oh, it's canceled. And then now it's like a remaster or some shit. I'm trying to think, what else the fuck? I don't know, man. Everything else came out. I mean, Halo, we knew that, it has its developmental time, but it didn't. Well, shit, it came out year 2. No, wait, was it year 2? Year 1, 2. Yeah, year 2. It didn't come out the release year. It came out. So yeah, Halo Master Chief Collection came out the following year after the Xbox One release, and then the year after that, you got Halo 5, and then Gears of War we just got. That shouldn't take long. That shit might have taken 3 years. And see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, all right, so they did Gears of War, right? So the team that did Gears of War 4, most of them didn't work on Gears of War, period, right? So what do? They have them do the remaster for Gears of War 1, which is Gears of War Ultimate, right? They do that game, then they go into, them finishing that game goes into the process of building Gears of War 4, which is a great game, So my thing is, maybe they got a team they could just give Scalebound, be like, this is the game. All right, this is what it is. Make it great. You have all these assets. You might have to redo shit. You might have to rebuild upon shit. But here it is. It's pretty much done for what it is. You can maybe build on some story elements a little bit more. But this is what the game is. Now, the only problem with RPGs are versus games like Quantum Break, Gears of War, Uncharted is, those games are linear. So the story is set. Like there aren't these alternative paths that you got to go. So like anything that's like Scalebound, it's going to take a longer time. And I can feel what they were trying to do. But man, if it doesn't make money, at this point, it's a lot of fucking dough to just be throwing at a fucking game that you don't think that is gonna, pay off. That to me, it's like, oh man, how could I characterize this? Like, say if you went so you're getting your house built, right? And say you're like, I'm gonna build a house for cheap, maybe like 120 grand, right? You build a cheap house is decent. All of a sudden, the contractor comes back to you and is like, all right, man, we're gonna need more time to do what I know we said we was gonna do it for 120. The fuck, bitch, no. We said we was gonna do it for 120, but what happened is what you wanted went up in price. So we need you to kick us another 50 grand so we can, add on the shit that you want. So you think they be like, all right, 50 grand. You know what? I was getting this shit for cheap. So you know what? Fuck it. I got it. All of a sudden they come back again. Be like, man, listen, I know we said we do it for 50 grand more, but the shit that you really, really wanted, that shit, is just gonna cost a little bit more than that. You already gave us, your money and shit. It's 170 already invested in here. I just need 30 grand more. What do you say? Like, shit. All right, we got this house. It was gonna cost me, about 300 anyway. You know what? Now it's gonna cost me 200. I'm still making a killing. You know what? Yeah, fuck it. All right, put me in for the extra 30. That'll put me at 200 even. Cool. All of a sudden, the motherfucker come back and was like, listen, I know you said that you wanted this shit. And we're like, come on, bro. I just gave you 200 grand. What the fuck? Listen, I'm just asking for another 200 grand to finish building your house. At that point, you'd be like, you know what? Fuck it. No. I'm not going to give you another 200 grand to finish building my house. This bitch is going to stay unbuilt, and I'm firing your bitch ass. And that's probably what happened, man. It's just, it's unfortunate. Sometimes people, they take on shit, they bite off more than they can chew. It is what it is. Both parties had to fucking take an L on that, because obviously fucking Platinum's not getting no money from the game selling, and Microsoft isn't getting any money from, the game, the what they invested into the game. So it's just like shit. Both sides are fucked, But but see, this was, it was the problem. And I remember in conversations listening to the developer saying like, oh, the Western developers, they like to work on more of a schedule. And, I'm not totally used to that, but, I think that it'll help us in the long run. But the problem is, I think the dude was being polite, but sometimes people ain't honest, yo. Sometimes they're not like, they say they can do shit, but they really can't. They're trying to figure it out on the fly. And when you're trying to figure shit out on the fly, but you don't really know what you're doing, but then you're giving concrete timelines, that shit doesn't work, man. Like, because if anybody thinks, oh, well, they just pushed it back, you got to remember, this game was slated to come out in 2015. It's 2017 now. So it's already, they said it was going to come out, holiday 2015. So it's a year past due, right? And shit, man, it just sucks that we're not getting it for, fuck, man. It's another one. But like I said, man, Microsoft needs to build its studios. It needs to build them shits up. I mean, to me, it's simple. It's like, all right, you build studios, you make the smaller studios make indies. That's what you do. So they're making money. You make them make indies for everybody. They don't have to be Microsoft exclusives. You just have them build indies. You can make them for Windows 10 PCs and for cell phones. and Xbox if you want. If you want to keep them off of PlayStation. If you want to put them on PlayStation, then put them on PlayStation. Whatever the fuck. Just have those guys. Or actually, I wouldn't, you know what? To be honest, I would have the smaller studios build games for everybody. You know why? Because after they build games, after a while, they get a track record for building games for everybody. When they do make bigger games and they are exclusives to the Windows 10 and Xbox platform, people are more inclined to go and play those games on that platform because they played the previous games when they were playing on Steam or PlayStation or whatever, especially if you build up a large enough fan base with those guys. It's just, I don't know, it just makes more sense to me. Like, look, it makes money, financial sense. You're number one, you're developing your talent. You keep them in-house. You have places for them to go if you have a campus. So it's like, all right, you kind of grown out of this position here. These are your options. What do you want to do? Do you want to be a developer? You want to be a coordinator, director? What do you want to do? You still want to be an artist? You don't want to, what is it that you want to do as you're a professional trying to advance in your career? So you're giving these people options so they don't feel like the only place they can go in order to do what they want to do, something different, just going to being an indie developer, because being an indie developer is cool and all, but this is a pain in the ass too, man. There's a lot of work involved doing that shit. Oh man, I don't know. I guess everybody's just kind of trying to figure out what the fuck Microsoft is doing. I think everybody. I'm not saying that Sony has it all figured out and they know, because they don't. They got their shit they dealing with too. But it's just like, Microsoft. Fuck, man. You have money. Like, you have a lot of fucking money. Like, you could literally build Microsoft Disney World if you want in every corner of fucking America and probably Europe and Japan too, if that's what you wanted to do. So it's like, look, cultivate your talent. I mean, they do it with Microsoft as far as like their software developers and their hardware developers. They do it with them. So it's like, all right, you have talent over there. You know how to cultivate it on that side. How about you bring that same exact concept to the Xbox side? I'm just saying, it makes sense. Like, if you're going to support Xbox and you want them to make games and you're building all these platforms and you make Xbox part of that brand and you want to build up the Windows Store, that means you need games in the Windows Store. That means you need to build studios to build games for the Windows Store. So building small studios that can grow into bigger studios just makes a lot of fucking sense. Every game doesn't have to be huge. Sometimes the best games are the most simplistic ones. That's what they need to focus on. Building and cultivating talent. Building and cultivating talent. That's what you need to do. Stop all this outsourcing shit. The shit isn't working. It becomes a headache. Like, look, you just had Quantum Break. Outsource that shit, became a headache. Granted, they've had a relationship with Remedy for a long time, and they make good games. It's just that it takes a long time. Their teams are small. They need more help. It is what it is now. The thing with Remedy is they like to work the way they like to work. So it's like, fuck. But for Microsoft to do anything better than what they're doing now, man, they need to just change their methods. Now, I don't agree with people saying that they need to make 343 and Coalition do games outside of Halo and Gears. No, I don't think that's the case. What they need to do is take the talent that is ready to move on from those games and bring them into other studios that they're rebuilding, because that's exactly what's happening to people. Microsoft doesn't have anywhere to put these people, so they kind of just go off and be indie developers, doing the same thing you would be doing if you had a campus and you're like, look, man, I know you've been working on Halo for the last 15 years and you're tired and you want to do something else. Well, guess what? We're starting this new studio over here. We want to, kind of develop this talent in order to build action games, right? Just action games. All right. So they start off small building shit, and then 15 years from now, they might be building their version of fucking Uncharted or fucking Tomb Raider or whatever the fuck, But it's like, that's how you do it. I mean, it's not hard. I know they know this. Is just go that path. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they have to find a way to make it more appealing. I don't know. I mean, Microsoft has a campus. It seems like everything is separate. Like, you got Coalition over here, you got 343 over there. Like, to me, it would be cool if everything was in one location. Like, I mean, to me, it just makes more sense. Like, imagine if you went to Microsoft Studios, and it's just for gaming. So the two biggest buildings on the campus are fucking 343 and Coalition. So those are basically, that's where everybody goes after they graduate from, say whatever university. You go to 343 and Coalition, and the other one being Turn 10 Studios. So you have those three buildings. All right. So you either go to one of those three, and that's basically where you're going to be spending your time as a game developer, trying to, perfect your skills. And then after a certain point, you could either move up, or you can move out to one of the smaller studios that are on the same campus, doing other games that are in rotation for, for the platform, man. And to me, like, it makes sense. One, because you got, all right, so people that come on campus, more than likely they'll be interns for a year or whatever, right? So they're cheap, they don't cost much, they're building up their resume. You can easily retain them, afterwards, because you already built up a relationship. Making an enjoyable working environment. Like, it's not fucking hard to do. It's just, to me, it's like, you got to make, like, that's how Disney fucking sucks people in. Like, there's people been on Disney's campus for years, but it's the environment that keeps, because people on Disney don't get paid like that. They get paid well enough, but they're not getting paid astronomical numbers, outside of the executive positions. They're not. But what keeps them coming to work, what keeps them wanting to keep developing, scripts and, doing designs and working on animation or other movies, is the environment that they work in. It keeps up the morale. If you could, like, yes, everybody knows 343, people love working there. Coalition, people love working there. Turn 10, people love working there. But what about all these other places? If you could use those three pillars to build around the rest of your studios, that shit could pull it up. It's like having fucking the Cavs, right? The Cavs, without LeBron, Kyrie, and Kevin Love, aren't going to be as appealing. You take them three off the team and just leave whoever else is on the team with J.R. Shumpert. That's a shitty ass team. Nobody wants to go fucking play for that team. But if you put those three juggernauts on that team, people look and be like, oh shit, Kyle Korver wants to come to the Cavs. Cool, come on in. You got a great 3-point shooter. Like, you get talent because you have an environment people want to be around. Like, it's not that hard to do. It's not that hard, man. It's just you got to think bigger than where you're at, you know, because Xbox could be huge. They have the money. They could be huge, but they got to be willing in order to fucking really, really push the envelope. You know, like games are a big thing, man. And you know, they're starting to try to go into VR and all that shit. Look, man, you know, if you build it, they will come. like the saying goes, if you build it, they will come. Build a fucking campus for these games to be made. People will come. The fucking nature around fucking Microsoft as a whole, you know, even though it has been changing, people are a lot more warm to Microsoft as a company, you know, especially with the, you know, the the Surface Book and the Surface Pro and all the Surface Studio, all their tech is seeming to just get warm welcome, because that perception of what Microsoft was is a lot different than Microsoft is right now. They just gotta kind of bring Xbox along. Like, somehow Xbox got left with the old idea of how Microsoft used to be, and like people still look at Xbox as what the old Xbox Microsoft was. Not all, but like, you know, a lot of these older people, and it's just like you kind of like got to pull them out of that mindset. But you got to change the environment. You have to change that shit. You know, like that shit would be crazy. I know you got people all over the world working on games, and they might not want to come to the States in order to you know, develop a game. And then that's the same thing for like a lot of movies and shit. Like a lot of places, they, you know, they have movies and things like that, but they have people out of the country that work on those films while everybody else is in the States. You know, it is what it is. But the fact that you build an environment like that shit would be the dopest shit ever. Like, imagine you think about this. Think about this. The media would so much rather go Microsoft's Studios campus than having to go to fucking Coalition one day, from there all the way down to fucking 343, to fly all the way over to fucking like imagine that, like everything is in one place, and you could literally, like, the fucking media would like, just that gesture alone would make the media a little bit easier on Microsoft, for the simple fact that it doesn't feel like a chore in order to figure out what the fuck is going on. You know, I mean, like, the thing is, like, they have enough IPs there. You know, all you have to do is grab the talent in order to build off of it. I mean, shit, you can have kids working on as interns doing school projects and bringing back Blinks the cat. You see what I'm saying? Like, they can have that shit done in a year. All of a sudden, we got Blinks the cat, the fucking, you know, remaster that some kids worked on. How crazy would that shit be? You know, and they'd be like, "Oh, Microsoft's making all these games," and it's just something simple that they could have done that wouldn't really cost them fucking money. I mean, that's what smaller companies do. Well, I know bigger companies do. I mean, I'm sure Microsoft does it. It's just that for whatever reason, they only do it for their juggernauts. They don't do it for their smaller studios as much. You know, and that, to me, that's who needs the help more. Fucking 343 don't need no fucking help. They got Halo. That shit, Halo, the shittiest Halo would sell 8 million. The shittiest Halo would sell 8 million. Like, I'm talking about shit. Didn't Master Chief Collection? That shit was broken. That bitch crossed 8 million. Like, like, that's what I'm saying. Fucking 343 don't need help. They got Halo. Who needs help is, you know, all these little fucking studios that you have around here. Those are the places that need help, man. But people aren't going to be willing to go there just because of the perception sometimes, man. You just got to You got to get out of that mind, get people out of that mindset that Microsoft is the evil corporation. Like, yes, y'all have changed on the outside and the inside a little bit, but the perception still lies that you're like the same old Microsoft. Even though all those people that were there with the same old Microsoft, for the most part, have gone and moved on to other things. It's just, look, man. As a gamer, I just want games, baby. So if you give me games, Phantom Dust, Scalebound, Crackdown, whatever the fuck, man, I'm all for it. But it's just like, and I'm not one of those people that are like, well, stop giving me Gears, Forza, and Halo. No, I want that shit too. Bitch, you better not stop fucking giving me Gears, Forza, and Halo, or we gonna have a motherfucking problem up in this bitch. I'm gonna keep that shit 100. I want my fucking games, and I want Gears, Forza, and Halo. Don't listen to these other stupid motherfuckers talking about, well, you shouldn't make Gears, Forza. No, fuck you. Talk for your goddamn self. I want me another Halo. I want me another Gears, and I want me another Forza. Especially, I've been playing Forza Horizon 3, the shit out of that game. Love that goddamn game. Forza Horizon 3 is a fucking God made that game. Jesus himself fucking blessed that game. He blessed it. That game is amazing. But it's just like, yo, how about, you take a couple people that are done making Forza games, but might still want to make car games and make what's that game? Full Auto? Full Auto is a shooting game, if I'm not mistaken, right? Make Full Auto. So now you have a Forza game, which is your track racer, Forza Motorsports. Then you have Forza Horizon, and then you have Full Auto. You don't have to name it Forza. I mean, you don't have to. It's a driving game. Whoever makes it, they know they come from the University of Forza, so the game's going to be good, right? So you already know the driving mechanics for that game are going to be amazing. And all you have to do is be like, all right, we're going to add guns. You can fucking put a warthog in that bitch. You can put an armadillo in that bitch. Look, there you go, right there. Fucking amazing. But I'm just saying, man, like you could do a lot of shit. You just got to cultivate that talent. But I don't know, man. With Scalebound, with us losing Scalebound, I don't know if it's necessarily the end of Scalebound. Same as Fable. It's not the end. It's just sad that it happened. I think they'll do something with it. I mean, they own the fucking IP. The game is like half finished, so they might as well, shit, at the bare minimum, put it in the fucking preview program or make it a goddamn demo or something. Don't just fucking just leave it in the vault. Give it out to the people and see what they say. Bring it out at E3 and said, yeah, we're sorry that we had to. We postponed Scalebound, but what we're going to do is, in order to finish this game, we're going to put it in the preview program, as we finish the game. So you'll say, we have a team on it. They're going to finish the game, but we're putting it in the preview program. All right. If you pay into the preview program, this game is $30. When it comes out in whatever year it's done, it'll be $60. How simple is that? Straight off the bat. Shit. They did that shit with art. That shit sold 1 million in a fucking week. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's not even exclusive. I mean, shit, that could help out a lot of fucking new IPs. Think about it. Phantom Dust. Cats are like wishy-washy on it, right? So what do? Put that bitch in the preview program. Say it's $30 now, but when it comes out, it's fucking $60. What? Motherfuckers would be like, shit, bitch, I'm playing this 30 right now. You know how many games I bought in the preview program already? I got Ark. I got We Happy Few. I have, what's that other game? That flying game. With the bitch, she be flying. Oh man, what's that bitch name? Fuck, I can't remember. It's like 2 flying games, but I got the second one. I can't remember the. Damn. You know what? Fuck it. I'll remember later. But it's that new shit where it's like, it's a space simulator. But yeah, man, you know, that shit makes money, man. People buy that shit. I mean, maybe the people that are like achievement whores ain't gonna really care to buy it early because they want their achievements to pop day and date. But like people that are just like they just want the game no matter what, they're gonna spend that money, man. Like I said, Ark made $1 million already. Have 1 million people already bought. Well, was it 1 million? No, I think 1 million people bought it. So it made well over 1 million then. Man, people are interested. Shit, there's so many games you could have. Fucking Crackdown. Crackdown should be in the fucking preview program. Why? You put Crackdown in the preview program for its multiplayer. Tell those people that if you buy it now, a year early, for $30, and all you can do is do fucking whatever the fuck, run around and blow shit up. You know how many people would buy that shit? Shit. Damn near everybody. Just to play three modes? No, they're not gonna play it for. Well, you know what? At the same time, it might kill. I don't know. It depends, man. Maybe not. That might not be built for every game. So see, Crackdown is more of a multiplayer focused game. So I don't know if it'll work as well as those worlds on worlds and people just living. Trust me, people live in that fucking Ark shit. I remember when I fucking played with Kyle from Tick Podcast. That shit scared the fuck out of me. When I went in there like day one, right? Damn shit loud as hell. Everybody was fucking in there naked and shit, running around, fucking beating each other up. And then I ain't played for a long ass time, maybe like a month or two. I come back, I talk to Kyle. I'm like, yo, this shit was crazy. I'm like, yo, Kyle, yo, I'm trying to play Ark. Yo, how's the game? Oh yeah, come in my server. So I come in. It's funny as hell. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, Kyle, I don't know where the fuck shit is. I don't play the game, I'm fucking starving. This nigga pulls up on a fucking dragon or some shit, fucking flies in. I'm like, what the fuck? This motherfucker is dressed like the king of Zamunda, jumps off a pterodactyl. It's like, yo, all right, you hungry? All right, there's a pouch right here under my pterodactyl. Here, go reach over there. All right, take whatever you need. Matter of fact, don't eat the red berries. Them shits will fuck you up. Eat these blue ones and them yellow ones. All right. Now, after that, all right, what I'm gonna do is you can't jump on my pterodactyl because I ain't got a 2-seater on this bitch. So what I'm gonna do is you stand right there, I'm gonna fly up and I'm gonna just grab you with the pterodactyl. So this motherfucker like has his claws around my shoulder, flies me to his fucking base. The bitch looks like Jurassic Park, like the base. The base looks like fucking Jurassic Park. He has these big ass goddamn doors and shit. He fucking drops me down in the middle of the base. He's like, all right, man, since you running around here with just a fucking towel cloth on your loins, I'm about to show you where you go get dressed. So he takes me to this room. These motherfuckers built a goddamn locker room. Like they had lockers with their fucking names on them. Shit was crazy. Shit was fucking nuts. I'm walking around. He's like, all right. He's just going to lockers, pulling shit out, throwing it on the floor. He's like, here, put that shit on. Here's a weapon. Throw that shit on. Like this motherfucker. Yo, did y'all live in this bitch? He's like, listen, man, we put in some work. So he takes me downstairs. There's a motherfucker in the dungeon. I'm like, yo, is that dude locked in there? He's like, yeah, man, we caught that motherfucker trying to steal shit, man. We locked this bitch ass up. I was like, oh shit, this shit is crazy. I go outside. We're in fucking Ark. Go outside. There's fucking people riding around on dinosaurs and shit is crazy, man. Shit was fucking nuts, man. Yeah, but like a game like that, man. Like I said, preview program, $30. People were living in that bitch. Granted, needs some updates like a motherfucker. And that should have run 100 times better on fucking Scorpio, but yeah, that shit was crazy. But like I said, man, today's a sad day as far as Scalebound, but it ain't the end of the world. It's just I think at this point Microsoft knows. So whatever the case was for Scalebound, it must have been bad enough for them to cancel it. They're not going to cancel something that they really see a lot of potential in. Like, obviously, they went and saw what the game was and probably realized at this point, the game probably wasn't going to be any better than what it was. And in this day and age, when you're going up against games that look like Uncharted and fucking Last of Us and all this photorealistic shit and Final Fantasy and maybe Scalebound wasn't looking to be on par with those games, and they were like, man, this shit is not gonna fly. Like the fucking media is gonna eat this shit alive. You know, and if that's the case, they're gonna fucking devour it and spit it out, and you spent all this money for it, and they're asking for more money to invest in it, and they can't guarantee that it's gonna look better than what it does. It's just like at that point, you're like, fuck. As much as we think this game might be fun, you know, it don't look the part. And what we know from games not looking the part, people don't fucking buy them. You know, for whatever reason, they don't buy them. Yeah, you got people that are hardcore Nintendo dudes that'll buy some Nintendo games, but that's not a lot of people. And those hardcore Nintendo guys only rep Nintendo, you know? And then you got to also realize like Nintendo is a brand that's mainly for children. You know, you got a lot of parents and people they don't really pay attention to this, but there's a lot of people that don't let their kids play. They like the fact that Nintendo doesn't have online because they don't have to worry about their kids, you know, meeting people that they don't want them to meet. As much as people don't want to accept that shit, and they're like, oh, you know, Nintendo needs to have online. Nintendo's not for you. Stop trying. I try to tell this to people all the time. You know, Nintendo should have this, it should have that. I'm like, Nintendo isn't for you. Xbox is for you, PlayStation's for you. Nintendo's not for you. You know, trying to make Nintendo into PlayStation and Xbox, as much as you think that'll help, it's not, because a lot of the people that are hardcore and faithful to Nintendo and love it for, you know, I can give this to my kids and not have to worry about them getting into no shit, just won't get Nintendo if that's not the case anymore. I mean, it's the truth. It's sad, but it's true. You know, if people just don't want to accept it, they feel like Nintendo needs to compete the same way, and they just can't. Like, it's too late, man. Like, sometimes you can't run a race, join a race from like fucking 60 paces back. You just can't. So sometimes you just gonna have to go your own, like either you jump out the sport and do something else, or you just gonna be running that race from way in the back. I mean, it's just not for everybody, man. So I don't know. I mean, man, fucking Scalebound. That shit would have been dope, though. That shit would have been dope. They could have finished it. I mean, but like I said, man, they needed polish. They needed polish. But I don't know, man. We'll see. It's just sad because, damn, what do we have to look forward to? I mean, like if I had a PlayStation 2, I mean, the next game I would really, I guess I would, I guess I would get Horizon, I guess. I'm just not on that game like that. That shit is just, I don't know. Like you're in this world and everybody has dreadlocks. Like I don't get that shit. I don't know, man. That game doesn't appeal to me, man. It's just, you know, it's just not. Look, man. Every game ain't for everybody. You know, it isn't. I know everybody don't like Halo. Everybody don't like fucking Uncharted. Everybody don't like everything. So you know, it is what it is. But we'll see. And they fucking they do something, man. Build, I'm telling you, I'm an advocate for this. Build Microsoft Studios campus. That is a must. Build Microsoft Studio campus. That shit would be amazing. I'd rather go there than fucking E3. I swear to God. They'd be like, look, man, we're going to open a Microsoft Studio campus. You can ask all the questions you want to all our developers. You know, you can, you know, we'll give you a sneak peek on our new trailer for Gears of War 5 and, you know, ahead of this presser release that we're doing, and guess what? You can go check out some of the stuff that we're working on for Killer Instinct. Like that shit would be amazing, man. That shit would be amazing. Microsoft needs to do that, man. Shit. I'm like, that would be great, man. Shit, I send my kid to Microsoft Studios when I have him. But yeah, you going to Microsoft Studios? That's what's up. We'll make some games. That's what's up. Like, it'd be big shit out there, man. Big shit. But yeah, man, look, man, us losing games as gamers sucks all the way around. I don't give a fuck what game it is. It sucks. What platform, it doesn't matter. The fact that Zelda not going to the Wii U sucks, especially for people that have been bought Wii U and are waiting forever. I mean, granted, more than likely they're probably going to buy the Switch anyway, but still, it sucks. But yeah, man, I don't know. But yeah, this is your boy live. It's all about moving forward from now. What does Microsoft have to do? Man, they got to prove something to me, goddammit. I'm going to get Halo Wars, but I ain't a Halo Wars fan of it like that. I just like Halo, so that's why I get Halo shit. But I need more than that. I know Scorpio's going to be a motherfucker. I know it's going to be, King Dingaling out this motherfucker. He's going to come out with his cock swinging. I get it. It's the bad motherfucker on campus. It's fucking all the hoes. I get it. But what I need to know is, can I get some exclusives for my beast of a console that's going to be fucking the industry up? Like, is that motherfucker going to be like, just, they can't just be multi-plats. I need something else. Other than Halo and Gears, I know that's just going to be amazing. Forza, I know it's going to be amazing. But shit, I need to, show me some State of Decay. Show me something. And stop telling me about these games that are like a fucking 5 years away that are fucking you keep on canceling. God damn it. I'm with Crap Gamer on that shit. Cut it out. I don't like that shit no more. Just tell me what you could give me that. You could tell me that about Halo, but everything else, nah, fuck that. Baby. Peace.